Joshua, thank you so much for joining us on Talk of the Town. How are you doing?
So good. Thank you for having me, Cole.
Yeah, and congratulations, man. Debut album, starting tour. How are you feeling about everything? I'm sure it's been a whirlwind.
It's definitely a whirlwind, a little bit overwhelming, but mostly exciting. There are moments of like paralyzing fear, like this morning. I haven't packed it all and I leave for tour tonight. And I literally like woke up and just didn't want to get out of bed because I knew there was a bunch of stuff I had to get done. But it's good. Obviously I've been working on the album for like 4 years, pretty much. And so, obviously I've put out stuff in the meantime, but some of these songs I wrote literally back in 2020. And so it's crazy for it to sort of finally come to fruition. And the response has been so overwhelming and beautiful. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, the debut album, going over those years, what's kind of that inspiration behind it all? It really feels like a journal when you're listening to the whole thing.
Totally. Yeah, no, I mean, it kind of naturally happened like that. I think, the job as an artist, not to sound too cliche, but it's just write as honestly as I can in that moment. And over time, the story kind of connects the more authentic I am. And so, it really was a process. I probably wrote 300 total songs. I mean, realistically, if you like go back, but there's so many songs that you write, and it's the ones that keep coming back that sort of, are meant to be. And so Biting My Tongue was one 4 years ago. Cherry Blossom was 4 years ago. Look How Far You've Come was 4 years ago. And the rest of them have sort of come in between. I think the last one I wrote was Mirror. And so it's been interesting to just sort of see the journey. And, I kind of put the songs together based on how I thought they would flow best from a musical point of view. And then you actually take a step back and you realize that the story follows an arc. And so it was just really cool to sort of how it naturally happened that way.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a very emotional album, very honest album. And but some of the songs, it's some heavy words, but it's an upbeat sound. Can you talk to me about kind of combining that dichotomy a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think yeah, there's certain songs like Would You Tell Me that aren't necessarily the deepest, they're kind of just like that was honestly literally just like me messing around on the piano, the lyrics sort of just vomiting out, not thinking too much about it. Mirror is obviously like a deeper one. And so I think there's a time and a place for both. There was a point where I didn't want to put Would You Tell Me on the album because I didn't feel like it was deep enough. And my A&R at Warner was like, you're allowed to have songs that are just fun, and like Cherry Blossom is just like fun, but like Circles, is a little bit more upbeat, but there's definitely some deep cuts in there. It's definitely a little bit more meaningful. And so it's just interesting how, that you kind of get the whole spectrum on an album, and you get to play with all the different things. Some things it's very serious, some things it's just a song. And, I feel like I finally gave myself permission to like, yes, there's still a storyline, but it's not like, it doesn't have to be this most profound thing. It's just, what if you're still in love with someone else, or whatever,
Yeah, for
or only
sure.
my cherry blossom, you know?
And is there, I know it's going to be hard to pick, but is there a song that really means the most to you or the song that you're kind of the most proud of?
I think it's very interesting because I didn't think anything about this song when I wrote it. But Little Rita, I wrote for my friend Rita, whose house burned down. And it was literally just so I could help her. Like I didn't have any goal other than like the song just kind of happened, and I was like, oh wow, like it's just a reminder that everything's gonna be all right, and that like home is where the heart is, and my heart is always near that stuff. And so I just kind of wrote it for her, recorded a quick little demo, and sent it to her, and then forgot about it. To be honest, did not think it was gonna make the album. And over time, as I played it for friends or Rita would bring it up, people were like, this has to go on the album. And so it went from being kind of a throwaway song that was just a personal message to my friend to being like probably my favorite on the album because of just the messaging behind it. Obviously, also Look How Far You've Come has similar messaging, but yeah, Little Rita just kind of is a surprising underdog for me for the album.
And you're coming here to Nashville August 10th. It's going to be at the Ryman, an iconic venue in town. What are you most looking forward to for being here in Nashville and then also just for the tour?
Yeah, I mean, Nashville is one of my favorite places in the world. I've written some of my favorite songs in Nashville. It's very, I actually wrote Biting My Tongue, Cherry Blossom in Nashville. Very, very peaceful. I love the people there. So I think I'm most looking forward to that. Last tour that I did, the crowd was bonkers in the best way. And so I'm looking forward to that energy again because they really are music lovers, and I just appreciate that so much about Nashville. So definitely looking forward to the people. I've still yet to have any hot chicken over there, so maybe I'll try it this time. I'm not really a spicy guy, but maybe we'll see. But in terms of the tour, I think, yeah, just being able to connect with people again, I've been kind of off the radar for a minute. And been doing a lot of work on the inside and just some other stuff going on in my life. And so to kind of like reemerge and reconnect with people and celebrate this new music and all the old music, I think it's just going to be a big party. And I just hope people walk away feeling joy and love and, better than they were before.
Yeah, and our team actually just did a hot chicken round table, and we got to I think a ghost pepper level, and it
Oof.
ruined my night.
Yeah,
So
no, I've
just be aware.
yeah. I've always wanted to do hot ones.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
sure you'll
still
get
do
to
that.
do it at one point. That was the kind of the inspo behind what we were doing.
Yeah.
So best of luck when you get to do that.
It would be
Well, just
very
really,
embarrassing for me, but yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
this is my last question, man. Is you released a couple songs ahead of the album? Can you talk to me about why you wanted to pick those two and just why them?
Yeah, you mean the Golden Years and Dancing with Tears?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the Golden Years, I really feel was the thesis of the album. That was the first song I wrote with Tommy and Jeremy, the producers, and that kind of locked in the whole vision for the album. Like that was a turning point where everything else from then on, there on out, sort of became clearer, and the album really started to take shape. And so for me, it's like I said, it's the thesis. It sort of sets up the whole thing. It's nostalgic and sad, but also upbeat and fun. So it's kind of got all of those elements, and I just felt like it represented me as an artist so well, and I just love the song. So that one was pretty clearly a starter. And then Dancing with Tears in My Eyes, I feel like is kind of a newer sound for me. Like it's a little more fun and disco-y and dancey, and not something that I typically put out. And it's just so much fun. And it was like all my friends' favorite song. So I was like, well, that's an obvious sort of follow up. And but what's cool is that like, yes, those are great singles, but I feel like people have been resonating with the album in like a different way, totally. Like where there's some songs that have kind of raised their hand, like that I didn't expect. And so it's been cool to see how people are reacting to the album. Like, for example, Wildfire, I didn't really think much of. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't like a standout for me. And so far, it's amongst what I've seen, it's my fans' favorite song. And so it's hard to pick singles, but I felt like those two were the strongest to start with. And it's been cool to see how people react to everything differently.
Yeah, that's gonna be a blast just to see the differences that what you think people are gonna click with, and then what everyone actually is really thriving off of.
Yeah, and also what my label thinks is gonna work, and what's like they didn't think much about Cherry Blossom or Wildfire, and those songs are like doing super well, and so it's very interesting to see how that works and how you can't really predict, I guess, what people will resonate with. So it's been fun to see that journey.
Well, congratulations on everything, man. We're excited to have you here in Nashville and enjoy the tour. Enjoy all the success from the album. We're so stoked for you.
Thank you, Cole. You're so sweet. I seriously can't wait to see you guys in Nashville. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the time. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you got it. Peace.